team packing up, everyone going back, and then starting again. So we said, you know what? Listen, we'll use this time well, almost like a pre-camp. And when the fight date comes, we'll be in a good place and we can kick on and take the training up.
Now, at the start of that period, I'm pretty sure you would have expected when the fight date was finalised that Mark Tibbs would fly out and you'd work together as you had in the past. At what point did you realise that probably wasn't going to be the case this time around?
To be honest with you, I never had those sort of thoughts because the fight date kept changing, and even now we're like I think we're like 7 weeks out.
Yeah.
I mean, officially, a head coach, a coach really needs to be there for training camp. The training camp can be 10 weeks, 11 weeks, 12 weeks, 13, 14, whatever. The fact he wasn't here before that really wasn't a problem. We didn't need to. I mean, I could do some work, Mark could do some work, so that was never really a problem. It's only when Dillian came and said the other day that he's gonna have a talk with Mark and the team and so on and so forth. But I don't ever get involved in those things. I was here to do a job. We've been working hard for months, and my focus is making sure that Dillian is ready. I think this is the toughest fight of his career personally. Povetkin's got a lot of experience, gold medalist, tough guy. Even to stop him, you have to really put a bean on him. Tough fight. So that's been my focus. I don't really, anything else, to be honest with you, that I don't really get involved in it. It's because Dillian's got a team. He's got his own team where himself and they deal with those things.
Presumably someone came to you at some point, though, and said, you're going to be the main man, not just in the gym, but presumably in the corner on fight night.
No. Even up to now, I haven't had that conversation with anybody. Even up to now. That's not... I don't have this kind of conversation with Dillian anyway. For the guys that actually know me working in my gym, they know what I'm like. I like routine. The discipline's got to be there. We train 2-3 times a day. I know exactly what I'm going to be working on every single day, and that's my focus. Honestly, I've never been the kind of person to get involved in what's happening outside. It's just not me. If you come and tell me something's happening, I'll say, okay, fine, good. Okay, let's get on with it. But I don't get involved. I use this word, and this always laugh, but I don't like chatty patties, and that's people that just keep talking about different things and don't actually know what's going on. It's not. I've never been that person.
Those are the words of Xavier Miller, and as you guys heard him explain, that no one came to him and told him he was going to be the head trainer of Dillian Whyte. He was working with Dillian Whyte anyway. He was more like an assistant or a secondary trainer, second string trainer to Mark Tibbs. Okay. Now, the strange thing about this is this guy has a high work ethic, and he's not really concerned about what his title was. He's more concerned with the condition of the trainer, and according to this, he didn't even know he was head training. He was like, well, I don't get involved with all that. I work inside the boxing ring, and I work to get the fighters ready. Well, but my question is, counterpunching, Xavier Miller, at some point, someone had to tell you. He says no. So it doesn't make sense to me, honestly, because I'm baffled on, you didn't know you were head trainer, but you knew Mark Tibbs wasn't going to be there. If he wasn't going to be there, okay. You know what I mean? What's his initial thoughts of that? He says, I'm not worried about people that talk a lot, chatty patties, people that talk about other people, but it's like, okay, your job position is changing. Now, I get the work ethic and everything like that, because that's very important. And one person that needs it without a shadow of a doubt is Dillian Whyte. Okay, because he needs conditioning, he needs discipline, and he needs that training. Okay, so it looks good because he looks like a guy, Miller looks like a trainer that's thorough, okay, and definitely consistent. Well, according to him, nobody told him anything about anything. But it's crazy, So like one hand is not telling the other hand what's going on in this camp, because he said, well, okay, well, I have this, I do what I do, and then Dillian Whyte doesn't even talk to me about those particular things. So basically, in a nutshell, people, okay, this is what I gather. Mark Tibbs was fired. He didn't ask why. Xavier Miller, right? He didn't ask why. He just continued doing his job. And because he's not a chatty patty, he doesn't talk about other people. He's not concerning himself on why and how and when or none of that. He's just focused on his job in the ring. Maybe he just misunderstood like what the guy was asking him, okay? Because I know at one point you had to know, hey, I'm only training Dillian Whyte instead of Mark Tibbs. You know what I'm saying? So I think this interview is a bit limited, out here. Let me see if he says anything that is informative.
I'm a professional, always have been. I mean, that's why, Don liked the way I work. He said to me, I want you to work on certain things with Derek, and he just leave me to it. I'm just a professional. I don't really get involved in gossip.
Do you need to mentally prepare yourself, though, if you are going to be the main head coach in that corner? Because that's something that you won't have done with Dillian in the past as the key person.
No, I think there's a couple of things to consider here. I mean, one, I've had my own pros for years. Cool. And I've always been the head coach with my pros. I've always had guys in the corner helping me. Don Charles has been with me. And it's been great. But like I say, I've been well schooled and well prepped for whatever anybody wants to throw at me. I mean, I've been in big fights. As we said earlier, I mean, the Chisora Takam fight was as big as they come. The O2 holds God knows how much people. You can't faze me with these things. The tunnel vision with me is it's crazy.
So there you have it, folks. Xavier Miller. He's had his own fighters as top trainer. So to him, it really doesn't matter. He's just there to train. He's just there to do his job, regardless of what the title is. He wants to get it done. Fair play. I think the most important thing is can Xavier Miller give or show through Dillian Whyte good positive results? Okay. Because what happens when these trainers, especially when a head trainer that's been with a fighter for a while and they've created and developed this relationship, and then they just break up, and then that new trainer comes along, like Jonathan Banks was with Triple G when Triple G left Abel Sanchez, okay? Well, what happens is that those new trainers are now under the microscope, okay? Because now they are hired to create results. Okay, so everyone wants to see results. They want to see the difference between how this fighter fights with this particular trainer and how this fighter fights with this other new improved, quote unquote, improved trainer, right? So I think now Xavier Miller, that's why I think he worded it like, okay, I'm not bothered with anything, so I can take anything that someone throws at me, so he's doing that because he's mentally preparing himself to train Dillian Whyte without the pressure, okay? Because when you do start talking about other trainers or former trainers, now that automatically builds a competition-style platform for other people to say, well, hey, Mark Tibbs did it like this, or he looked better with Mark Tibbs, things of that nature, where in fact, how much of the performance can you train or blame on the head trainer? That's the question you realistically ask yourself, because you have strength and conditioning, you have other people in the camp that help you, besides the head trainer. So but I still think Xavier Miller, he has a great opportunity. I feel that a lot of people now are going to start paying more attention to him, and I think and I hope he does exactly what he says he's going to do by staying focused and using that tunnel vision mentality to stay away from all that other outside interference and just get Dillian Whyte ready. I don't think that he's one of the most toughest fighters, Povetkin, right now. He could have been, but he is a formidable opponent, so we'll see. But you guys tell me what you think about Xavier Miller, the new head trainer of Dillian Whyte. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.